Hello, my friend. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create and build out a welcome sequence as part of your email marketing ecosystem. And so what a welcome sequence is whenever you acquire a new lead or a new fan gives you their email address or joins your newsletter, anything like that, instead of just hoarding the emails in your software and just leaving them alone, the first thing you should always do is set things up so when a new lead comes in, it enters your welcome sequence. And what this does is it's basically a series of about 3 emails. And what it does is it delivers and then over delivers on the bribe or the lead magnet that you offered them in the first place. So it makes sure that that email happens automatically. And also in that email, it kind of sets the tone a little bit of what they can expect as part of being on your mailing list. So I think that's super important. What it also does is it uses conditional logic to see if they're actually clicking that first email. And if they're not clicking that first email, then a specific email will then get sent out to remind them of the new bonus that you included, that over delivering. And don't worry, I will talk about this in more detail soon, to make sure that they are in fact engaging with your email as soon as they get it. The truth is, when it comes to email marketing, those first few hours even of someone joining your list are the most important. It's generally when someone's going to be the most engaged with you, and it's generally when someone's going to decide if they're going to continue to open your emails throughout the length of your relationship, really. If you don't have something like this set up right away to make sure that they are opening those first emails, any effort, any money that you spent to acquire that lead can almost get wasted instantly, and you really don't want to waste this opportunity. It's almost kind of like that first impressions really matter kind of thing. Then the third email that gets sent, regardless of whether they clicked that first email or not, is an offer email. And the idea of this is you want to make sure to quickly have some kind of offer to present to your new fan. And the reason for that is, one, is obviously can be nice to generate some income from this whole little project. But two, you also want to try to recoup any of the acquisition spending that you did to acquire that lead. And third, even if they don't happen to actually purchase or take you up on that offer, it does kind of establish that relationship where there's an understanding that, one, I'm going to get what I asked for. Two, anything that I asked for, I'm going to have an over delivering of it. So it's going to be more than I expected, which is nice. And three, there's like a relationship established where, okay, maybe I'm not purchasing something from this artist this time, but I do know that they're going to send me things of value. And at some point down the line, I may want to be prepared to purchase something. So I think this is really important because, again, you want to make sure that you have this in place so that there's this automatic nurturing and developing of the fan to artist relationship happening. So you're not wasting any money or time or effort finding leads and then just abandoning them, which I think a lot of artists have done. I've definitely done this before too. And because this is so important, we're going to be going through a worksheet that will show you how to kind of develop what you're going to say in those emails. That worksheet also includes some template. And if you want a download of that worksheet, there'll be a free link in the description below, completely free for you to grab. In addition to that, in this video, we'll also be going through how to put the email sequence together, this welcome sequence together in an email marketing platform. In this example, we're going to be using MailerLite. There'll be a link to that in the description below as well. And I like MailerLite because it's basically what MailChimp used to be in terms of a very generous free offering. So I definitely recommend checking that out. And so we'll be going through that. And the whole rest of this clip actually is part of a email marketing for musicians workshop that I did. So the format's going to be a little bit different going forward. But with that said, enough rambling. Let's dive right into this. So then the next thing that we're going to be working on is that first sequence that we're going to be building out. And this is that welcome sequence. So if you can see here from the image, what happens is there's a trigger up at the top. And this is when the subscriber joins your particular group or your list. They're going to get a thank you delivery email. It's going to wait 1 hour. It's then going to check to see if this email, thanks delivery, had any links actually clicked. If it did have it clicked, it'll move over to this green area where it will wait 1 day and then send that offer email that we were talking about before then moving them into the nurture sequence. At this little fork in the road here, if this program notices that there was nothing clicked in this email before, they'll move into this fork where they will then get sent this bonus email. And it basically will re-highlight the bonus that's mentioned in the delivery email, which I will show you and I have templates for, which is cool. And then it will then move to another step, which is this 1 days, which is right here. So that means they'll move here, wait a day, and then also get the offer and then move out. So basically, The idea is that every new subscriber is going to get added to this sequence, and it is a series of 3 emails over 2 days, depending on how they're engaging or not. And it is the last step is to add them to that nurturing sequence automatically. The idea is that email 1 is you're going to want to over deliver on your promise or bribe. So a little bit of a spoiler here, but if we're using that free download example, you offered the 1 free download up at the front when you were acquiring them. And then in that thank you delivery email, you're going to say, here's a pack of 2 or 3 downloads as well. So you're over delivering. Then in email 2 is you're going to remind anyone who didn't click on that first email, and then you're going to lead with that bonus. So if they didn't click that first email, they don't know that they actually have a bonus of 2 or 3 extra songs. So you're going to lead with that in that email to inspire that click. And then number 3 is you're going to present your first offer, whether it's a CD offer or whichever that you want to use. And we'll actually be deciding that right now. We're going to move over to the back over to the worksheet rather. So over here, what we want to do in your welcome sequence is outline everything that you want to send. So the main things that we're going to want to go over is your bribe. So using this example, it would be that free download of song X that you decided back in step 2. And then you're going to want to figure out some kind of bonus that you can tack onto that. If you pick something other than a free download, you'll have to do some, brainstorming on this, get a little creative. But I think an easy win would be either doubling it up or adding something complementary to it. So, for example, like I just mentioned, if the bribe is going to be a free download of that one song, then you can have it so it's like, hey, actually, by the way, tricked you, you're actually getting a pack of 3 songs for free, and it's going to include that song that you thought you were getting, and it's also going to have 2 more. So I think that's a nice little bonus that you can add. And then lastly, you're going to have some kind of offer. You're going to want to brainstorm an offer that's actually a paid offer. And so in this example, I think something that makes sense would be an album download of 6 songs, could be more, that actually includes those 3 songs as well as a bunch of extra ones as well. And this could be a digital download. This can be a physical. But you can see here that from the bribe to the bonus to the offer, there is some kind of through line, and it all makes sense. So if I wanted that free download, it makes sense that I could potentially want a pack of 3 free downloads. And if I want those 3 free downloads, there's a chance that I might want to actually purchase an album that includes all of those. So take some time to figure this out and make sure you have that through line moving through. And if you are following the example of the free downloads, because maybe you don't have any of this figured out, I would say also add in the clarity of filling in the gaps of what these songs are actually going to be. If you don't have an album linked up with those songs, it doesn't matter anymore. This is like the Wild Wild West. Which is a great thing. So you can just create something called, I've done greatest hits before, even though I clearly don't have any greatest hits. You can create some kind of new album that's exclusive just for this. There's a lot you can do, so don't feel tethered by what we've done in the past as artists. You can go ahead and write your own rules. And then also from this, I should mention that the email templates will be in here. So right here is a template for email 1. You essentially want to say, hey, it's your name from your artist name, or just hey from artist name. Thanks for grabbing the free download. Here's an extra bonus of 3 more free songs for you with the link here. I also try to send frequent emails with new music, free downloads, videos, and other sweet stuff, all wrapped up in some fun stories and behind the scenes sneak peeks. So essentially the idea is you want to hook them up the free download, give them a bonus here, like exceed the expectations. Then also kind of set the expectations a little bit, because they might not necessarily know that getting that free download means that you're going to be emailing them every once in a while. So you want to give them an idea of what is in store for them. Let them know that I can't wait to share more cool things with you and for you to be part of your artist name community, and let them know that you hope they enjoy it. Put your name, and then this is something I would set up. You don't have to, you can either put the full super signature that we worked on, or you can kind of use the PS as a tease. So in this example, I wrote, PS, keep an eye on your inbox tomorrow for one more thing, because we want them to keep an eye on their inbox for that offer. Another thing that you can actually do too is there's also several of these that you can do, PPPS. So you can do PPS, and then you can put in the super signature. You can do PPS, write something else, and then do PPPS, and then put the super signature. So that's also something you can do as well. Then moving on to email template number 2 that I got for you. Subject line would be your free bonus. You're going to say, hey, again, as a special thank you for grabbing that free download of my tune, here's an extra bonus pack of 3 more free song downloads just for you. Enjoy your free downloads the rest of your day. Sign off, all that. And then lastly, this again is the one that will only go if they don't engage with the previous email. And then we have email 3 here. Here's your gift is a solid subject line that's worked for me several times. hey, would you like a CD filled with my music? I put together 8 of my greatest hits and put them on a good old-fashioned CD for you. To learn how to grab yours, click right here, and you can put a link to it right there. So now, before moving on to the nurture sequence, what we're going to do is move into MailerLite once again, because what I want to show you is actually how you would build out a sequence like this. So in MailerLite in particular, these are called automations. And so to build this out, we would go into MailerLite, we would press New Automation, and we're going to start this from scratch. And what we'll call this is the welcome sequence. Press Start Building. And so over here is where we're going to get started here. So we say set up workflow trigger on the right is where we pick it. Generally, what we're going to do for almost all these is when subscriber joins a group. And if you don't have any yet, you can make one right from here. So we might call this like lead test 1. Is something very simple. And you can, with MailerLite, this is another reason why I like them quite a bit, is you can have several lists join this same automation. So you don't need to create a new automation for every single list, which I think is quite great. So you're going to want to go ahead and save that. And then what we'll be doing is creating the first email, and we'll be calling this delivery. Here you would put in your subject line, and then you press design email, put in that template, and create it. Not going to go through all that. Then what you would do next is press the plus button. And what you want to do next is you want to set up a delay. So you're going to set up a delay for about 1 hour, makes sense. That way they receive this email, then MailerLite's going to wait an hour, because then we want to see, after an hour, we want to see if they've actually clicked anything. So we create one of these steps here. It's called the conditional step. Really cool, super powerful stuff that you definitely can't do unless you're paying for MailChimp. So that's why I love these guys again. So you're going to want to define the condition, set it to any rule, and you're going to want to select, there's a couple different things that you can select here, but for this example, we want to do workflow activity, so this specific automation workflow, and then we're going to go to select, and we're going to select delivery. You can see it kind of turns yellow when it's selected, so we click that, it's selected for this one right here, and what we want to do is we want to say, had any link clicked, save. So now it's going to send that email right away once they're added to this automation. It's going to wait an hour, see if they had any link clicked, and then we move on. So if they didn't, we're going to add this email here, which is going to be the bonus. Again, put in the subject line and design the email, put in the template there. Then what you're going to want to do is if they did click it, we're going to go here, we're going to add a delay, and we'll do just 1 day. So it's the next day. And then what we'll do before adding that email, we want to add a step after bonus, which is going to be an action step. And this action step is going to allow us to do a couple different things. But in this example, what we want to do is move to another step within this workflow. So we press that. And then again, you can see we are going to select the delay. And we want to select that 1 day one. So you can see it has like a red highlight over it when we select it. So what happens now? Press save, and after this bonus email, it'll move to another step. It'll move to this step over here and continue the path. And then what we'll do over here is add an email, and this is going to be that offer email that we have. We'll put in the subject line. We'll design the email by pasting in the template and modifying it. And then the last thing that we're going to do after that is we are going to set up an action, and the action we're going to choose is we are going to copy them to a new group. And the group that we're going to do is we'll create one called nurturing sequence. And so nurturing sequence will be the trigger for that next nurturing sequence after this one. So that way when they go through this, they either get the offer right away or they get the bonus before the offer, depending on how they're engaging. And then regardless, they are then going to get copied over the nurturing sequence, and then that's going to start getting built out. And then so that's how we actually build this out inside of MailerLite. So now you should have a pretty good understanding of why a welcome sequence is so important and how you can actually get started building one on your own in your own email marketing ecosystem. Again, there will be a link in the description for that worksheet that we were going over, completely free download if you'd like to follow along. And other than that, hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next video, my friend. Have a good one.